to the old tried and trusted, get the boys back in the team, and normal services resumed. And it was terrific. I mean, it was won by a super goal. I worried before the kick-off when Callum Wilson wasn't playing. I worried because he's the one guy we really need as the centrepiece. But what a goal from Willock. I mean, he's proved in the last 2 games, he scored at Southampton and he scored today 2 very, very different goals. We needed it today. Hey, we deserve to win. And don't they not like it at the end? Don't they not like it up themselves?
John, when Malcolm was in a couple of weeks ago and we won, because it's becoming a regular thing now, I got him to do a couple of words from the alphabet. So I just want you to say E, I, E, I, E-I-E-I-E-I-O. Up the Premier League we go, when we get to Europe, this is what we sing. Royal Geordie, Super Geordie's Eddie is our king. Brilliant, Gibbo, legend. Okay, the World Cup break is on us now. Is it a good thing or a bad thing for Newcastle United?
It's a bad thing because we're on a roll. It won't matter because we'll resume service. But it is a bad thing. We just want to keep playing, It's the deadbeats that want the break. Southampton, those sort of sides want the break. We don't. But to go in it, 3rd top of the league, 1 year ago to the day, we were 19th in the Premier League and we just failed to win yet again. It would set a record, 11 games at the start of the season without winning. We were 19th in the league. We're 3rd top with the greatest defensive record in the Premier League, and we're cooking on gas, kid. We're cooking on gas.
We do a podcast every Thursday with Supermac, NUFC Matters on YouTube. Give it a subscribe, people. I've been a big advocate of Chris Wood because I saw what he did last season to keep Newcastle in the Premier League. He's not going to get you 20 goals, but that kid started a day, remember that. He played 75 minutes, he ran himself into the ground, and we got the result because he's part of a team. Chris Wood deserves some praise from the fans today.
Well, all deserve some praise from the fans today. There's absolutely no question about that. There's no question we'll miss Callum Wilson because Wood does what he does and he does it honestly and he did it honestly. But I mean, his movement's limited, etc., etc. What we needed, I thought, for example, the back four, you take the 2 fullbacks in totally different ways. Trippier and Byrne were terrific for me. Trippier is different class, and Byrne's got a heart the size of a frying pan. I mean, you do not get past him, and he was terrific. And I thought Newcastle all the way through, just before our goal. I mean, the save made by Pope, he didn't have much to do today, but that save was absolutely top draw. And let nobody say that this is a fluke. You know what? They said all season long, they said Leicester will blow up. They're not good enough, they're not going to stay there. They won the title thing. Who's to say we are going to fade away? They're not going to fade.
We got through the Carabao Cup. We won a penalty shootout, only the second one in many years that we've won. But we're through. We're in the quarter-finals. We've got a home draw against Bournemouth. Should we be pushing for that as well?
We should be very positive about that. There's everybody saying, well, do you want to be in the Champions League or do you want to win a trophy? Shy Ben's getting out. I want both. Why can't you have both? Why can't you go in the Champions League and win a trophy? This is the best season to do it. We're not playing in Europe this season. We haven't got the extra games that all the other teams at the top have got. We've got the 2 domestic cups in the league. Let's go for it and see what comes out the other end. Because, believe you me, this is one of the best chances we're going to get, and that's a good team. There's no question about that. We've lost 1 game all season when the referee lost his whistle and he couldn't blow for full time at Liverpool. The one game we've lost, we can mix with the big boys. We just did it with Liverpool. We drew with Man City. We drew with Manchester United. We went to Spurs and won. We've just beaten Chelsea. We haven't got to be afraid of anybody this season. And to say that after being terrified for a decade and a half under Ashley is absolutely magnificent for me.
In your time covering Newcastle United for the Evening Chronicle, this guy's a legend, right? He's been in the Evening Chronicle most of his life. He's followed Newcastle all over the world. He's seen in the good times, he's seen the bad times. You've seen Joe Harvey, you've seen Bobby Robson, you've seen Kevin Keegan. Where do you rate Eddie Howe?
Eddie Howe has the great possibility to outdo them all. Because, why? Well, because Joe won trophies, but there's only one major one, that was the European First Cup. Unbelievably, KK and Bobby, who were fabulous, didn't win anything. They didn't win one of the domestic cups. How they didn't do that, looking back, I'll never know. So the minute Eddie Howe gets his first trophy, he's beaten those two, and he's crawling up on Joe. So he's got, if you remember, when we got Eddie Howe, everybody outside of Newcastle was saying you should go for one of the two big names. You should go for Lampard or Gerrard. Well, Gerrard's got the sack and Lampard deserves it. So we got the right guy. And if I thank anybody, I thank Emery for not coming here. Because we got the business, and he is the business. And he will need, it's one of the reasons you can have faith, because all the players have got blind faith in him. Absolute blind faith. And it's terrific. It really is terrific. And I just wish, I mean, the World Cup's just, I've gone all over the world to follow England in the World Cup. This World Cup's just irritating me, because I want to get back to Newcastle United.
I completely understand. Newcastle United, as a football team sitting in third place in the Premier League, into the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, are getting on people's wick, they're getting on people's noses, right? But there's a lot of journalists, John, and you're a journalist. I don't get this chance to ask Malcolm this question. You must sit back and you must look at some of these people doing all the national newspapers, having a pop at Newcastle, mentioning the owners who run us. We've got Al Walid in today, who is from Saudi Arabia. Give him a round of applause, people. Big Newcastle fan. What do you think when you see journalists say Newcastle United are only there because of the money? When you think a couple of, the last home game, and I said this to Malcolm before the match today, the starting 11 of that home game, 6 of those players were playing for Steve Bruce. At the end of that game, the last home game, 10 of the players on the pitch all played for Steve Bruce. This has got nothing to do with money. This is down to the fact that the owners have employed the right manager.
There's absolutely no question about that. It irritates me and makes me smile. It is the very simple answer. If you get rich owners taken over, it must be down to that. It can't be down to us. Well, Almiron, his change of form, he was here. The way Shaw's played, the way Willock is being resurrected, the way Longstaff is getting in the team and playing regularly. All these people, I haven't mentioned Joe Linton, who's the standout change from centre forward to midfielder. All these were here, but they're not recognisable. The players that are here now aren't recognisable from what was here before with Steve Bruce. And I just think it's lovely to have a pop at Geordies. I mean, they used to say during the Steve Bruce era that we Geordies were greedy. We demanded far too much. Jesus Christ, we've never had anything since 1969. I mean, we are far too demanding, aren't we? I mean, all we've ever asked for is a team that we can be proud of. A team that has a goal for us.
All right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Spot on. That's all we've ever asked for. And now we've got a team we can be proud of because they care and they keep going. The high pressing today was absolutely unbelievable.
Man of the match today.
Oh, man of the match. I mean, you could virtually take anyone. Willick will make the headlines because of the way that he finished. But he is looking superb. Both produced a great save. Both the fullbacks who played in totally different ways, Trippier and Byrne, because Byrne plays naturally different, were absolutely outstanding for me. You can't even Wood, who you go on about, and I go on about in a different way. I'm not convinced, but he put in a shift again and we got the job over the line. If we buy well in January, and we only need to buy a couple, but you must be encouraged to buy in January because we're third top.
Where would you prioritise Newcastle spending money in January?
I would like to see we buy a centre forward because I think we need one for when Wilson isn't available. Isaac is not an out centre forward. I would love to buy Maddison. I would love to buy Maddison, and we will have to address either in January or the end of the season getting a left back. Target is not going to get in that team regularly. Byrne was absolutely colossal again, but he's not a left back if you're going to go into the Champions League because he's basically exposed. So left back, Maddison, and a centre forward. Then we are cooking on gas. Because remember, Isaac will be back. And he's a new player. He's a £60 million new player. So there's a big push.
Gibbo, I'm sure we'll have you back at some point, but if we don't, where do you see Newcastle finishing in May next year?
Great question. I think we will make the top four. I think we'll make the top four for the Champions League. And I do think we'll win one of the domestic cups. The easier one at the moment because of where we are is the League Cup. Bournemouth's a great draw, and coming as it does at the start, the resumption of the season, most of the players will have been rested. Joe Linton and all those have not been to the World Cup. He can put his best side out. And if he puts his best side out, we'll blow Bournemouth away.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have Gibbo here today. Give a round of applause, John.